One more thing, I think when this Ayodhya movement started, it was Sitaram Goel who actually provided the intellectual arguments and facts. He produced the two-volume Hindu temples, what happened to them. So since the Ayodhya issue is going to be settled very soon, which in any way. So what do you guess? What about the other temples, especially Mathura and Kashi? What do you visualize is future going to be on the issue of at least these two or few important temples?
Yes.
How do you think it is going to shape now?
Well, also we should give credit for Conrad Elst for his works on Ayodhya.
He did, yes.
But the idea of taking back those four temples came from the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, starting in 1984. And so they also have to be given credit for raising the issue. Now, Ram Swarup and Sitaram Goel gave them a greater intellectual articulation, but they were working on the ground. And of course, some of their members were killed, and they suffered quite a bit. And then the taking down of the Babri Masjid, all of that, these were other people involved, but they gave an intellectual basis for that. And essentially, they wanted those four temples back. And I once asked them, why do you focus on Ayodhya? And because the other temples, Kashi Vishwanath, the mosque still has part of the temple. There's no debate on who tore the temple down and the fact that the temple was there. Same way with the Krishna Janmabhoomi. They were both destroyed by Aurangzeb. Whereas with Ayodhya, the left was arguing that there was never a temple there. So I said that the reply I got, is said, if we can get that one back, then we can get so many back. In any case, that was their choice. So definitely, now the other temple, at least those other two you have to give back, and several more.
So going by that argument, there's evidence. Mathura and Kashi should be very easy, but I don't think it is going to be easy.
Well, nothing's going to be easy, but I think definitely Kashi Vishwanath Modi is preparing that. He's prepared the corridor. He's prepared the connection with Kashi Vishwanath. So it's quite obvious that the mosque and the history everybody knows. So I think at some point the Muslims will almost want to give that up because it kind of highlights them in a negative light. And if the Hindus are strong, this will all be forgotten in a day. If these temples were taken back in 1947, they'd be a total non-issue beyond that. And today, Kashmir is a much bigger issue. You're only talking about a 3-acre parcel of which 1 acre you're disputing. So I think some of the temples will have to come back over time. I think the Shias were willing to give up 9. So let us see. And they should come back not because they're just Hindu monuments, because they're Indian monuments. The culture, the architecture, the history. So I think the case has to be made for them as well. And I think that work Sitaram did is very helpful. I think didn't they put him into jail for putting that book out? Even though he only quoted Islamic sources? Yes, he was oppressed for doing that, by just mentioning what the Muslims themselves had said. And then the leftists denied. They say, well, the Muslims exaggerated what they did. And the real enemy, though, was the left, more so actually than the Islamic groups. And you have to remember that at the time of Nehru, there was no real Islamist movement. The terrorist movement. That started a little bit in the 70s. It wasn't until the 90s and then 9/11 that has come out. So even by that standard, the issues are stronger today.